why editor doesn't love a good drum track to edit. So I thought it'd be interesting at the beginning of the year to show what I have as a kind of like snapshot of where I'm at right now, and as I bring in new bits of kit, I'm going to be explaining and running through like why I want to change it in more specific detail later on, and also what I'm going to be exchanging it with and why. And so I thought that might be interesting for you to see. So I suppose the easiest place to start is with what cameras I use. My main workhorse that I use a lot for making videos is the Lumix GH4. I've had this camera for a number of years, and I really enjoy using it. I'm really familiar with it. I know the menus. Also, there's like a couple of really nice little features as well. So like being able to shoot 96 frames per second and things like that. And also it can shoot 4K. I also like that it's still, quite a small camera and easy to take around and fit in a backpack and everything. And also, because micro four thirds, the lenses are smaller, so they're a bit more lightweight as well. But, in light of some of the stuff that I want to do, as I mentioned before, with like, upping the production values for certain projects that I want to do for this channel, I'd like to have a bit more room to grow into, as it were. And in the camera department, a few honorable mentions. I also have a Sony EX3 that is still lying around and comes out occasionally, makes an appearance every now and again. And also an old Sony NEX6. It's been sat on my desk for a while, that one. So next on the list is microphones. Right now I have a pretty old Sennheiser Lavalier mic set. I'm sure if you do a quick Google search of that, you'll find that it is a pretty old model. I've been using it for many years now, and I've not had any issues or anything. It's not given me any problems. I've not had to replace anything, so it still works great. There are some new developments in audio recording and things like that. The 32-bit floating point audio maybe might make my workflow a little bit simpler. And then also on microphones, possibly like condenser mic or something like that, might be on the cards. Then sticking with audio, there's the Zoom H4n. Is an old model of audio recorder that is still very much in use on my end anyway. It still works well, despite it having fallen many times. And as you can see from the B-roll footage here, the microphones at the top are not in the best of shape, shall we say. And so maybe 2022 is the year that the old H4n gets retired. The next bit of kit is tripods. So I've got a couple of tripods that I use on the regular, namely the one that this camera is on, which is I'll just read the part number, the Coleman 3430. Pretty simple tripod, no complaints, works fine, had it for a long time. There's the central raising column, which you can raise up and down, which is a feature I do quite like on, there are a few different tripods that do that, which I really like. But also you can slide that pole all the way out and you have a monopod. And then the other tripod that I have is the big one that is actually in shot here, which is the Liebeck T72. Big tripod, quite heavy, but solid workhorse that I've had for many years and travelled around with. But I think maybe this year looking for something on the lighter side to add, just in case I go out shooting. It might be nice to have a smaller tripod just to whip in a backpack or on the back and go off shooting somewhere easily. The next bit of kit is my teleprompter. This is the internet, so you're probably all going to be laughing right now when I show you my teleprompter setup. Et voila! This is my current teleprompter setup. Now, let me explain the situation. I was doing a video, I had the script written out, and I thought, easy peasy, just go paragraph by paragraph, memorize each little thing. Long story short, during recording, I lose my shit because I can't string two words together. And so I came up with this super quick and super simple teleprompter, which is a piece of wood with a slot cut in it for a little bit of perspex, with a screw hole that I just like twist onto the top of a light stand. Then I have my phone here, and I just have a teleprompter app on the phone, and I just rest it there, pray to God that it doesn't just slide off. I'm not going to do anything more to this, I'm just going to upgrade it. Then the next bit of kit is computer for editing. So Currently, I don't actually have my own editing workstation. In my day job, I do video editing, so I can use that computer to edit these videos. Obviously, this is not a sustainable situation, and so I am looking obviously at getting my own editing computer. Right now it's an iMac Pro that I'm using, but I am looking at switching up to a laptop just for a little bit more of mobility. Next thing on the list is editing accessories. It's not necessarily something that a lot of people think about, but there are, you know, a few different kind of control boards that you can plug into your computer with shortcuts and hotkeys and everything for, you know, making editing just that little bit easier. Because for anybody who's sat down and done like, you know, a day's editing, you'll pretty quickly find out that a keyboard is not the most ergonomic input device to be using for editing. Now, what I use for my editing control keyboard is actually a Razer Tartarus V2, I think is what it's called. And yeah, this is actually like a gaming keypad, but the thing is, like, it's got a ton of buttons and a ton of ways to kind of customize it in a way that you know, I find for me works pretty well for editing. You know, I'm considering switching over to DaVinci Resolve, and DaVinci, they have their own editing keyboards and editing devices. Then maybe one of these controllers is something that I'll look at switching to later in the year. And the last bit of gear on the list is lighting. So in terms of lighting, currently I've got a set of film gear for now lights. I've got two 300 watt lights and a 650 watt. They get feckin' hot when you're using them, and it quite quickly, you know, warms up the room. And if you're wearing a jumper like this, stupid decision, then you start to get pretty hot pretty quick. Also, you know, they're quite heavy, so traveling around with them, you know, it is a bit of a ball ache. I suppose what I'm looking for is something, you know, a bit more compact, lighter, easier to move around, probably looking at some form of LEDs or something like that. So yeah, that's kind of the gear that I have currently as of January 2022. I think some of it's starting to show its age a little bit, and there are some more bits of kit that I think, yeah, as I mentioned at the beginning, will, you know, ease my workflow a little bit and also give me that kind of extra technical headroom to move into when I do some of the bigger projects that I want to do this year. So yeah, fun times, and yeah, looking forward to buying some stuff. I just gotta get some money. Just gotta get some more money. I can sell an arm. I only need 2 arms, I suppose. Or a leg, yeah. I can sell a kidney. You don't need 2 kidneys.